Good afternoon. Let me join President Sullivan in welcoming all of you. It's the fourth annual Young African Leaders Initiative, or Mandela Washington Fellows Group, to visit Charlottesville. Every year, I am impressed with the quality of people that show up to meet our guests. And this year, I'm not disparaging the years past, but this year I'm overwhelmed with the quality of folks that have come to visit, and I thank you all for being here. The precinct punches above its weight, as they say. Believe it or not, only 4 people work for the precinct. It's a tiny little organization, which is by design. This is a collaboration between UVA, William & Mary, Monticello, Highland, Montpelier, and Morgan. And those institutions are all great in their own right. And when we do a program like this, we rely on those partners. And without them, of course, there'd be no precinct. But in putting it together, even with a staff of 4, we have to raise our own resources. And so there are a few people we want to recognize that have been particularly helpful to us in putting together the resources to make the precinct possible. So I'm going to read a list of names. It's a little bit lengthy, but there's a lot of people to thank. Please hold your applause until the end. And I'm not, because people are still eating, I won't ask you to stand, but wave your arm in the air so we know who you are. How about that? So let me start by thanking, we have with us today 3 founding donors of the precinct. These are people from day one who contributed capital to make this possible. I'd start with Renee Grisham, and Gil Miner, and the Bama Works Fund. Ann Kingston is here too, I hope. There she is, all right. And we have a new supporter here today, Lauren Hershey from the LWH Family Foundation. Lauren, thank you. And Dot and Lamb Hardman Foundation are also here, I think. Yes, thank you, Lamb. We have a new supporter for a event coming up in November, and this is a big deal. There's a women's forum coming up in November. I don't want to steal anybody's thunder, so I'm not going to tell you about it, except it's a big deal. And we have with us today Eleanor Steele, the COO of Tupperware Brands, and Tupperware is going to be a major sponsor of that event. Eleanor, welcome. We also have, from our Presidential Precinct partners, a number of representatives here. I'll go through them quickly. From Monticello, Ann Taylor. From Highland, Sarah Von Harper. From Montpelier, both Sean O'Brien and Doug Smith. From Morven, Stuart Gamage and Susan McGill. From UVA, we have Lewis Nelson, who's the newest representative on the board of the precinct, who replaces Jeff LeGros, who's going off to be the provost at the University of Richmond. So Lewis, welcome to the board. We also have Rusty Connor, the new rector of the Board of Visitors at UVA, and Rusty, welcome. From William & Mary, we have Teresa Longo, who also is replacing for the coming year Steve Hansen, the Vice Provost for International Affairs at William & Mary, who's on sabbatical this year. At the UVA Foundation, we have Wayne Cozart. Wayne is here. Is Wayne here? Then from the State Department, we have Britta Borden. Britta is over here. Great. Britta is in charge of this program, not just here, but nationally, so she's a big deal. Welcome. From the Presidential Precinct Board, we have Peter McHugh and Francois Baird. Welcome, both of you. From the Virginia General Assembly, we have our representative, David Toscano. David, welcome. From the Friends of the Precinct category, we have 2 executives. We have George Freeman and Mike Ligon from Universal Corp. George, Mike, there we are. Thank you. Welcome to both of you. And finally, from the UVA Board of Visitors, we have Mark Bowles, John McFarland, and Robert Hardy. Welcome to the 3 of you. So with that, it's my duty and pleasure to introduce our speaker for this afternoon. As I said, we get some really quality people. I think it's a great tribute to the young leaders, that the kind of characters that you have showing up today. We are really honored to have Ben Rhodes. Ben has just finished a stint as the Chief International Advisor to President Barack Obama. From 2009 to 2017, he was the Deputy National Security Advisor in the White House. He participated in nearly all of President Obama's key decisions. He oversaw national security, communications, speechwriting, and public diplomacy. He led the secret negotiations with the Cuban government, something that may be being undone, partially undone, but again, a really important initiative. And before that, he was responsible for the nuclear negotiations with Iran. He has also played a leading role in the administration's engagements in Myanmar, Laos, and Vietnam. And throughout this period, he's been a speechwriter for President Obama. He's the co-author with Tom Keene and Lee Hamilton of Without Precedent, The Inside Story of the 9/11 Commission. He has a BA from Rice University and a master's from New York University. Please join me in welcoming Ben Rhodes.